If you invest in a more economical set, they might not last you as long.
I've had it for a long time.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
This is a pro brush.
So with the liquid, I just dab, dab, dab. Should it be the same color as your lipstick?
You can put a matte lipstick on top or maybe a satin lipstick that's gonna stay.
How often are we supposed to clean our makeup brush?
You could do it daily.
Okay.
You could do it weekly.
Okay, weekly I can commit to. I'm Dr. Beatrice Seguin, PhD, and you've landed on my podcast this time of the month, your trusty sidekick to the midlife roller coaster. I chat with experts digging into legit solutions for midlife hurdles, be it health or lifestyle. Ready for the ride? Dive into this time of the month. Subscribe and catch the latest episodes on our channel. Let's own this midlife magic together. I don't know about you, but my makeup brush situation, it needs help. I'm really lucky because for the past year, I've been working with Jenni Lin, our makeup artist here at this time of the month, and I figured maybe it was time to bring her in front of the camera and ask her some questions. So
thank you. Hi. Yeah, I know you brought this out and my first response was, ooh. But this is very common. I see this all the time. When I get people to bring their makeup in to go through everything, I say, bring your brushes, and this is usually what it looks like. I do love that you have it in a cup, standing up. This is great. A lot of people put it in a makeup bag and it's locked all in there, so this is much better anyways.
All right, so that part I get at least partial marks.
You get an A++ on that one. It'll balance everything else out. So, yeah, I mean, you know what, you want to give these a good clean.
How often are we supposed to clean our makeup brush?
I mean, you know what, let's talk realistically. How about once a month? Does that sound doable?
Yeah, it's doable. Yeah,
doable.
Doable.
Okay. Well, let me go through it a little bit. I'll show you how to quick clean and then deep clean.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this is the MAC brush cleanser. This is a great quick clean. You can get other brush cleansers online as well, but let me just show you. I take a paper towel.
Okay.
And let's say it's, you know, I know it's kind of dirty. I want to give it a quick clean, or tomorrow I want to use a different color than what I used on my brush today. I'm going to put some of that on the paper towel and literally just...
Oh yeah, I feel really embarrassed right now.
That's okay. This is totally normal.
All right.
Yeah, you're not the only one. So look at how much product's coming off there. That's great. You can start to see the brush is actually white at the tip. That's normal, totally fine. I'm just gonna flip this over and get a little bit more on the other side. I kind of wanna wipe it until I feel like I'm not really seeing any more makeup kind of coming off the brush there. Maybe I'll get a little bit more on here and just get those edges. Okay, and then once you feel that you've got the majority off or it's looking pretty clean, then what you would do, because it's just a little bit wet, you can kind of touch it there.
Oh yeah, it's damp, right?
Damp,
so,
yeah.
Okay.
You know, lay it flat to dry, exactly. Okay,
Right.
in about 20 minutes, it's gonna be dry and you can use it again.
Fabulous, all right.
So that's your quick clean.
That's my quick clean. So the quick clean should only once a month, or what's your ideal?
No,
really?
your quick clean, you could even do, you could do it daily.
Okay.
You could do it weekly.
Okay, weekly I can commit to.
Okay. Whenever you're like, ooh, it's starting to look really bad, maybe you just wanna do a quick clean.
All right.
But I think a deep clean is still really important. It's the same as your hair. You might not wash it every single day, but eventually the buildup,
Yes.
right? You don't want to ruin your brushes.
All right, so how do we deep clean?
All right, so deep clean, I like to use Dawn because it cuts through everything. It's amazing. Most pro makeup artists use this to clean their brushes.
I did not know that. I thought shampoo, for some reason, I don't know where I heard that.
Yeah, I think at one point we were using some baby shampoo. I think you have to be careful with certain shampoos because they can be for chemically treated hair.
Right.
So
okay, so we're sticking, if the makeup artist uses Dawn?
That's what they use. So
good tip.
What you would do is you would put this in a little dish, do it at your sink. You can then run your water, take your brush, you want to wash the brush first, get it wet, just like you would do your hair.
Right.
You'd wet your hair first, then you'd shampoo it. And then you're gonna just kind of dip it into the Dawn in your little dish, get some on there. You don't need too much, this goes a long way, right? And you're just gonna kind of wash everything out. And as you're washing it out, you can see all the product going down the sink, okay?
All right.
And you're gonna know when you're done because the water is gonna be clear. You're done, you can squeeze it and kind of reshape it and lay it flat to dry.
And reshaping, that's something I wouldn't necessarily thing to do, but it would be disappointing to ruin a good makeup brush. So
for sure,
just
and I think
hold it and
and I think, you know, a lot of the time when we're washing, and not only that, when sometimes even when we're applying makeup, the brush starts to get kind of like, you know, all over the place and kind of crazy. So yeah, you want to reshape it, squeeze out the excess water, lay it flat to dry, and that will take about 24 hours to dry before you can use it again.
All right. So, you know, some of these are looking pretty tired. So what about this one? I use it for foundation.
This is a great brush for foundation. It's a duo fiber, so it has the natural bristle and the synthetic mixed together. That's where the white and the black are together. So this.
So why is that a good thing?
Well, this brush you would know is good for any liquid products or cream products, and great for buffing into the skin. Whereas, say, this brush, our OG foundation brush, is just more of a synthetic brush, and it's more like we paint the makeup on. We're not really doing that quite so much anymore. This is still a good brush for even applying moisturizer, but this one's going to give it a little bit more natural. But I think it's time to retire this.
It needs to be, okay, so
you're
I'm losing lots,
Yeah, it could need to be washed. See how the inside here is starting to look a little maybe matted or...
Okay, I'll give it a wash.
Give it a wash.
Do you have favorites, you know, in terms of...
quality of brushes?
Quality, yeah.
I mean, there's so many good ones on the market now. It just depends on what you want to invest in. If you invest in a, you know, more economical set, they might not last you as long. A MAC brush like this one is probably a $50 or $60 brush.
Yeah, I've had it for a long time.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime. So obviously the more expensive, yes, the better quality, but there's some great brushes on the market for maybe $20.
All right.
If you don't want to invest in a more expensive brush. So
what else? What am I missing in here? Anything that you think get rid of and, oh, you're missing?
I mean, if this one still works and is still okay, like we'll give it a little wash. You might want to get a new one, but it might still be okay. The only problem is once the bristles start falling out and then they leave.
Yeah, they stick sometimes. I noticed that, yeah.
That's when it's kind of time to say this one needs to go. You've got some great brushes here. You've got some, you know, some fluffy brushes for blending. You have, you know, a more dense brush than say this brush. Right, so this one's good for blending. This one's good for packing a lot of color on. And once you've kind of packed the color on, you can go back in and blend with this one.
I'm never sure what brush is ideal for what purpose. So this is good. So packing, blending the corner.
You can blend the corner. You could even take, say you didn't want the color to be too much all over the eye. You can even go into your eyeshadow and just blend lightly and go all over the eye with this one. Okay. So the softer the brush, the less product.
That makes sense.
The denser the brush, the more product.
Okay.
Yeah. And I see you have a lot of the angled brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. I feel like you can never have too many.
Yes, I have
you
several.
have a lot.
I will say, despite having many
Yeah.
of these brushes, I cannot master the tight line or the eye line. And you've texted me about that because you've seen some of my photos. So how does one use it?
A liquid liner is hard. And so we talked about that a little bit. And, you know, people always want to use liquid liner. What's the best way to do it? It's just practice. Yeah. So until you master that over and over
we'll
again.
have to have you back for, we'll do a liquid liner tutorial with you. But let's stick to, this is more for...
This is more for eyeshadow. Yeah. So you would go into your eyeshadow with this, and along the lash line, you're just going to apply it that way. The nice thing about the angled brush in an eyeshadow, applying it like an eyeliner, is that it's more forgiving. Yes. Right? It's more forgiving. The other great tool that some people forget is when you're using your pencil and you're putting your pencil on, and you know how sometimes it doesn't look smooth, or you can see a little space and you think, oh geez, you can actually take this brush and go over it and just soften it with the brush.
That's a good idea, because I tend to go with the Q-tip and it turns into a disaster.
No.
Right? Then I'm trying to fix it, and then, so this, you can go in and smooth it out.
I think I did this with your eyeliner today. I put your eyeliner on. I just threw it on quickly this morning. Wasn't super perfect. And then I just took this to smooth it out and make it look perfect. Okay. So this is a great tool that way.
I will use it for that now. All right.
It's good. Yeah. So you have a couple other things here. This one's great for, say, doing a smoky eye. You want to take a little eyeshadow and just smoke underneath the eye. You can use that point for that. That's great. And then we've got a brow brush here, which I love that you have this.
We need to wash it.
We will wash it. It's going to look a lot different. But everybody gets up to brush their hair in the morning. I like to brush my brows. I always brush my brows, brush my lashes before I do anything. Before I even start my makeup, the first thing I do is brush my eyebrows.
So what's the benefit of, so brushing the brows I get, but I've never thought to brush my
your
eyelashes.
lashes. Yeah, well, anytime that we sleep or wash anything, it starts to kind of not sit where we want it to go. So brushing the lashes before you put the mascara on will just fan them out and then put everything on more even.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's great. So I think other than washing them, you have a good array of different types of brushes that are great for lots of different applications.
Anything that you say you're missing? What should every person have who enjoys wearing makeup? What are we missing? What's a must-have?
You don't have a blush brush.
Okay, show us a blush brush.
Yeah, you don't have a blush
brush.
There's different types of blush brushes.
So wait, what is this?
Well,
Bronzer?
you could use this as blush, but it's when you feel it, it's pretty dense. When you touch the top of it,
so what
it's
would you
pretty
use
dense.
this for?
You could put your blush on that way, but it would be pretty firm. So it would be. This brush you could probably use for bronzer, maybe.
Okay, maybe bronzer. What about setting powder? Was this more of a setting powder thing?
You could. This is a pro brush.
It's a pro brush. I don't know how to use it. All right, so show me. I need a blush
It's a pro
brush. So show us that.
You need a blush brush.
All right, so you have 2 blush brushes.
So I have 2 different blush brushes. This one is your OG regular blush brush.
So for powders?
For
type thing?
powders.
Yeah, okay.
You can use it in cream though too, but it's going to apply everything very soft, sometimes to the point of non-existent.
Okay.
So if you just want to wash a color with a cream, great brush to use. But if you want a little bit more color, you want something that is a duo fiber. But you have a couple of duo fiber brushes. This one you're using for your foundation. This one is quite large, so it might apply the blush to spread out.
Okay.
So you need something a little smaller that's going to fit the cheek properly.
So is there a number? Because I get overwhelmed when I shop at any store that sells brushes.
They're all different numbers.
So the numbers don't matter, it's more the visual?
The MAC brushes actually are listed differently. So the ones, this one's the 129. I can't remember what this one is because it's a newer brush and it's worn off though because I've had it for a while. But the ones, when it says 1 something, that means 1 means face.
Okay.
And then the 2, like this one is a 2. This one's a 224 brush. The 2s mean eye. And the 3 means lip.
Right, so that's more of a brand code.
That's a brand code.
We should just go visual, like dual fiber.
Duo fiber.
Look at the size. All right.
Yes, exactly. Do you have a smaller face? Do you have a smaller you want a smaller area? Do you want it to cover a bigger area? You want it to be bronzer more all over? Bigger brush, right? Okay. You get more control with a smaller brush as well. A lot of people are using cream blushes nowadays.
Yeah.
Are you using a cream?
I love cream and liquid.
Yeah.
So with the liquid, I just dab, 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 and then I might go in with a brush or fingers sometimes.
Do you find that the finger blends well, though?
It doesn't blend super well, which is why I want to go to a brush, but I've realized I was using the wrong brush. So I'm going to go get one of these, yeah.
So I love that you're just taking it and putting a little bit on first, and then going in with the brush and blending it afterwards. That's the better way to go.
All right, I get another few points on this one.
You do, yeah.
Awesome. Jenny, a while back, contouring was all the rage.
Right.
I never really got into it. It did intimidate me.
Sure.
I tried watching a few videos. I even bought one of these, and I don't remember the brand, but it was like a contour kit, right? So it's like step 1, do this, and then step 2, I gave up, didn't try.
Right.
So, yeah. What's the deal?
I think really we want to focus on just bringing out our features. I think once you get into contouring, it can be a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult. But I think when we're talking brushes in contouring, the smaller the better.
Right.
The smaller the brush. And you can even use something like a regular eyeshadow brush.
All right.
And just kind of contour your nose that way, or, you know, whether you're contouring, you know, putting a little highlight on your cheek or something. That way you're getting a little bit of contouring instead of a lot with a bigger brush.
So I'm curious, what's your opinion? I see it all over social media, right? These sort of rules of thumbs, or, you know, this is how you contour. But you're a professional makeup artist. Like, surely it can't apply to all of us. I've tried some of these tutorials, and it just doesn't quite work out. So
Everybody's face is different. And I think there's maybe a majority of people that one way works really great, but it's not for all of us. I definitely fit into that category. Whenever I try to contour like how somebody is showing it, it doesn't sit right on my face. I have a different, shorter, smaller nose. You know, maybe you have a smaller chin, you don't need to contour. Like, you really need to look at your overall face and say, what is it that I want to stand out about my face, and what is it that I want to set back in my face?
I feel like this is where getting the help of a makeup artist would be really useful, because I don't think as an everyday person I would, you know, understand exactly how to play with the contour.
The contour, the light and the dark.
The light and the dark, yeah.
And I think that going and getting professional consultation and application, and if you just want to focus on that, then that's a good thing to go and pay for and get the right product suited to you and your face. Instead of just watching a YouTube video and going, I should do it like this. Because, not all faces are the same.
You can end up buying a lot of product and it doesn't, or,
exactly.
you know, doesn't end up working. All right, so I think we have 2 more things that we're going to have to do on future segments. The eyeliner and maybe a contour tutorial.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do it. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This segment is dedicated to one of our community members. She's asked me how to deal with lipstick that bleeds. As we get older, we get fine lines around the lip, and so especially if you're wearing darker colors like red, it'll bleed, and that's frustrating. And so we're going to ask Jenni what we can do about that.
Yeah. So there's a few tips that we can try, but I have to be really honest with you. Some women, their lipstick just bleeds.
As a result of just?
I don't know. I think just skin texture or oil, aging. Some women, no matter what they do, it just migrates a little bit. But we can help the majority of women to keep that lip under control.
So let's
So the first thing that I like to do is I like to take a foundation powder or some kind of a powder and just lightly use it around the lip area.
Okay, not on the lip, around.
Around the lip area.
Okay.
This way you're kind of getting a little bit of powder so that the lipstick doesn't migrate up. Okay, I know that as we get a little bit older, sometimes we don't like to use a powder. I love MAC Studio Fix. It's a 2-in-1. It's actually a liquid and a powder together. So it will still let your natural oils come through. It's not super powdery, but any kind of powder just around the lip line will
Would
help.
you shade match that? Or should it be, say, a shade lighter, or?
If you're using a translucent powder, I think, no, any powder, you're still going to shade match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then MAC does carry a prep and prime lip. Have you ever used this?
No.
A lip primer?
No.
Okay, so this is an interesting product. It's more of a wax. You can feel it if you want there. It's a waxy base.
Yes, I
right?
see it.
So it sets into any fine lines that you do have to kind of fill them in first.
Okay.
And so you wouldn't just put it on the lip, although you're going to put it on your lip. You're going to put it just a little bit outside of the border, right?
Okay, so we've got powder. We've got primer just around.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then the other thing is lip pencil. So during COVID, I actually stumbled upon lip pencils, filling them in my whole entire lip as a lipstick. I mean, it's nothing new.
Right.
But during COVID, it didn't come off on the mask.
That's right.
So especially a red, to just fill in the whole entire lip. This is more of a matte texture as well. I mean, mattes are great for helping you to not bleed, but something about the consistency of the pencils tend to wear really well and not migrate the same way. So filling in the
trick.
whole
So
lip
fill
that
your
way.
whole lip. Should it be the same
Yes.
color as your lipstick, or does it matter?
So you can put a matte lipstick on top, or maybe a satin lipstick that's going to stay. It doesn't have to be the same color. You could do, if you're using a red, you can go in with something that's more natural and then layer the red on top of that. A lot of people make the mistake of feeling like they have to match the lip liner to the lipstick, but a lot of the time it can make it look too bold, and it's very hard for the majority of people to match and to put a red lip liner on. It's difficult to do that, to make
so
it
that's a good
perfect,
trick.
right?
Now, if I'm doing the lip pencil, am I skipping this step, the primer
No,
step,
so you
or
can
all three?
still, you can still all three. You can still put the powder on first, the lip primer on, and then that'll just give you a smooth base, and you can fill in the lip pencil. It's not going to be quite as bold, but with the primer on there. And then you can layer the lipstick on top as well. Okay, the more layering, the better everything's going to sit and going to stay. The one thing that you don't want to do if you have a problem with bleeding is put a gloss on top.
Okay, no gloss.
No gloss. It's going to bleed 100% then.
Okay, so go for the more mattes.
More mattes. Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much. We hope that helps a little bit with the lip bleeding problem.
Yeah.
So I know there's makeup setting. I've used it, spray on my face, but is it for the lips? Is it a different product? Do we put it on the lips?
You can set the same way that you would set a liquid foundation with your lipstick. So you could put your lipstick on, then you could take a loose powder, lightly dust on top, and then reapply the lipstick again.
Ooh, I'm going to try that.
Okay, try that. Let me know what
That's
you
a
think.
good one. That's new to me. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure everyone knows about that.
All right.
What about all the pre-application routines that we can incorporate? Is it a good idea to say scrub our lips?
That's become a big thing right now, is lip scrubs. I love a lip scrub. Do you need to do it all the time? No.
Yeah. Like anything, too much might damage the skin,
and you
or-
want to be really careful. Some of them now have a little applicator that will scrub for you, which feels really great, but you still want to be really delicate with the lip. So don't push too hard. Don't be too aggressive with it. You don't want to break any blood vessels in the lip and leave those little red bumps that kind of come up. So just really lightly, whenever you feel you need to do it or they're feeling dry,
Winter, I definitely feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a lip conditioner or a lip mask.
I mean, we moisturize our face, we take care of our body with different creams. I love a good lip mask.
A lip mask, yeah. I love a lip mask too. This one's probably my favorite, the Laneige lip mask. It is more of a nighttime wear, but you can wear it during the day as well. And it gives you a little hint of pink, this one. They come in different colors.
Yes.
But it is great. It's really conditioning. It's definitely important to condition before you put any lipstick on, especially if it's going to be a bold color. But I would do it, 20 minutes before you're about to put your lip color on, so it has a chance to kind of sit in. If you do have a problem with bleeding, you might want to blot a little of the conditioner off on a tissue before you start your lip application.
Yeah, would you do one at night? A lip mask at night? Maybe not the tinted ones, but some of the...
Yeah, any of them, yeah, absolutely. Keep one beside your bed before you go to bed, put it on.
That's a great idea. Jenny, you spend so much time behind the camera making people feel and look beautiful. I'm so thankful that you're on the couch with us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask you.
I know.
What makes you feel beautiful?
I think, honestly, after I put everything on and I feel that I'm representing who I feel like I am truly on the inside, then I can just be authentically myself outward. And that's what makes me feel beautiful.
That is a lovely answer. I usually run around from one thing to another in the day, and so what I like to do is keep my porta brush in the car. That way, if I have to go from the gym to a coffee meeting or a work meeting, I can just grab this little brush, it's heated, and it's for touch-ups. Basically, you turn it on, and you just give yourself that little heated touch-up. This is great because it's USB chargeable. It comes with a lovely little pouch. It's pretty small and lightweight, so you can have it in your gym bag, your purse, or in the back of your car. Thanks for listening today. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only. The content shared here should not be considered professional medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for personalized medical guidance. We're here to empower and support you, but your health decisions should be made with your own medical team. Until next time, take care and keep thriving.